And now for those of you who need something practical but want something with some punch, here's our test drive of the all-new Hyundai Elantra N-Line. So you need something practical, but you want something fun and sporty, something with a bit of an edge. Well, the Hyundai Elantra N-Line might be just the ticket for you. The Elantra N-Line is Hyundai's answer to cars like the Honda Civic Si and Volkswagen's Jetta GLi. Practical cars that have been hot-rodded a bit from the factory to make them fun, to make them handle, to make them accelerate, to make them sporty. Make no mistake, the N-Line is a fun car to drive. It's powered by a 1.6-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine. That's pretty small. But it does produce 201 horsepower, and it has 195 pound-feet of torque. In terms of power and torque, it's right in there with its competitors, but it is not as fast. It should be, it just isn't. It's probably because of the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. It just doesn't seem to transfer the power efficiently enough. You know, individual taste will vary. For me, I was trying to find one of the automatic driving modes that I was comfortable with. The sport mode for me was the worst. It didn't seem to shift well for me. I think that it's set up to shift too soon. It never builds up enough RPM. It never revs up enough when I'm driving around the city. And I guess that's probably because the sport mode is set up for harder driving. So unless you're really going to rev that engine, don't drive it in sport mode around town.
Well, no, you're driving it like a grandpa.
Well, yeah.
You need to really hit it with your purse if you're going to drive it like in sport mode. You don't need the speed.
Well, bottom line is if you want to get the most out of the car, you have to drive it with the paddle shifters, and that's just all there is to it. Because if you drive it with the automatic transmission engaged and you let the computer do the shifting, it really is just set up for economy. That is the bottom line. So if you want to drive it and get, have any fun with it, you're going to have to use the paddle shifters. The Elantra N-Line does come with sport-tuned suspension and steering, and it has an independent multi-link rear suspension. No rattles, no squeaks, so it's put together well. This is not a full-blown N, which would be Hyundai's highest performance trim level for a model. But there is an N coming. For now, though, this is a whole lot of fun. It does handle well. With this Elantra N-Line, you're looking at a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of about 8.5 seconds. That's about 1.5 seconds slower than a Civic Si or the Volkswagen GLi. Even though it might not be quite as fast as its competitors, it's still practical. It's fun to drive, it handles well, the fit and finish is good, and Hyundai takes safety very seriously. It comes with forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian detection. It has blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, driver attention warning, and lane departure warning technology. There is good pedal feel from the brakes, and what you're getting into here is a car that has unique styling. The front end is distinct. It's a Hyundai. That front grille is bold. And take a look at the lines when you look at it from the side. They're hard, aggressive. And while they're aggressive, they're not too overstated. It's all done tastefully. So this is a car you can drive every day. It is an attractive car. In fact, I have had a few people stop just when I've been sitting in a parking lot to tell me that they think the car is really nice and to ask me questions about it because they recognized it as the new Elantra. In the cabin, you'll find an 8-inch touch screen. It's tilted 10 degrees toward the driver. That provides easier control and access. And our test vehicle was equipped with a Bose premium sound system. The red stitching on the steering wheel and the shifter and on these sport seats, it's all quite tasteful. It's sporty. I feel sort of secure in it. It feels like it sort of wraps around me, and that's partly because of these seats. There's a lot of, support on the sides and the lumbar. It's set up well that way. You get dual zone automatic climate control, and the aluminum sport pedals add just a touch of flair. You get LED headlights, LED taillights, chrome tipped exhaust, 18-inch alloy wheels, a black lip spoiler. It's the N-Line, so it's supposed to be sportier, and you do get some sporty styling with it, some red stitching in the seats and so on. But I would say, while the car is fine, it is not a performance car. Let's face it, with a 1.6-liter Turbo 4, you're just not going to set the world on fire. But the engine does rev, the chassis is stiff, and for the money, it offers up great value. For the Autos 360 Network and SST, I'm Rick Walker. So even though the N-Line isn't really a performance car, it does have a lot going for it in terms of overall value, and Hyundai has great warranties. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a personal decision, and with a car like that, it really kind of comes down to the numbers. So check it out. Take one for a test drive at your Hyundai dealer, and don't just take my word for it. Make up your own decision. It is a car that is competitive and is worth looking at.
You're watching the Autos 360 Network.
Turn back the hands of time with antique Chevrolet parts. Since 1971, we've been sourcing parts from around the world to help you restore and maintain antique Chevs. Nose to tail fins, we have your parts. Call us toll free at 1-866-767-2787. Get help from a real person or go to antiquechev.com. Download a catalog, order online, delivered to your front door. Antique Chev, helping you turn back the hands of time.